You know we love to travel. So when we were invited to go on a road trip with Jetour to test out their new car, the X70 Plus, how could we say no? So off we headed to unearth the secrets of Southern Anhui, a truly unique location, which also provided the inspiration behind this car's design. I didn't know much about the area, apart from it being home to the most famous mountain in China. But as I discovered, Southern Anhui is a region of rolling hills and abundant water, epic roads, and the most charming of towns and villages. This is an area with a deep culture and rich traditions, but also has its fair share of challenging terrain. But I am confident that the X70 Plus will be able to handle this drive through the Oriental landscape, and I'm excited to test it out before it goes on sale overseas. Let's go on a road trip through Anhui. After jumping in the car and cruising through the countryside, the first thing I noticed was fields upon fields of Anhui's most famous export. In fact, Huangshan's Maofeng tea is so cherished locally and by tea buffs around the world that the method of obtaining it has remained largely unchanged for 2,000 years. I visited the family farm of Zhang Laoshe, a local tea merchant who is willing to share his family's secrets with me. But first...
Hi, friend. I made a friend. She's such a cute girl and she just loves a little time.
Before the prize crop is ready to send out to the world, the freshly plucked tea needs to be dried. By hand, of course.
I'm making tea. So we got the fresh tea leaves and we put them in this big hot bowl so it can dry the leaves out. Ah! I feel like it's like a hula hoop. Squeeze the tea out on this stone carving. He's had a lot more practice than me. This machine is like a heater and we're going to bake it.
So, how did it taste? Well, I will let you know in a couple of days when we meet back up with Zhang Laoshe for a traditional tea ceremony.
I will get wet in the rain.
And the cameras stay dry. That's how I have my priorities.
Back on the road, we cruised from village to village, finding out what makes this area so special. The whitewashed walls and horse-head-shaped roofs are a distinctive symbol of Southern Anhui.
Seen a fair amount of rural China, and usually the architecture is based on function rather than form, but that is not the case here. I'm in the village of Hongsun, which was constructed according to the principles of feng shui, with a large pond at its center and an elaborate network of canals that protect against fires and keep the plants lovely and watered.
At first I was a little bit overwhelmed because down by the lake there's lots of touristy shops and lots of people, but the further we've got out of the village are like these beautiful alleyways. Jack, what do you think about Hongton so far?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's been so good for taking video, hasn't it? We've got some really nice shots.
And then tomorrow we're going to come back at 6 a.m. I feel like it's going to rain, but even if it does, so what? It's absolutely beautiful.
We really enjoyed our time in Hongsun, but it was far from the only stunning place we visited. The X70 Plus's easy handling and smooth ride were the perfect match for these bumpy mountainous roads. and there were incredible views from every window. Filming these awesome views requires a lot of gear, but luckily, Jetour's cars have plenty of space. And despite visiting so many places, the X70 Plus's intelligent technology meant we never got lost. We had an absolute blast driving around Southern Anhui, cruising up and down the mountainsides and passing villages that have remained untouched for centuries.
So you can see in a lot of these buildings that we've been into, there's like this inside-outside feel, which is just so nice.
According to Huizhou tradition, water is the source of wealth, so the roofs flow inwards and water is collected in a pool in the center of the house. Also, you'll notice many buildings have archways above the entrances, which are often adorned with the local Huizhou stone and brick carving techniques.
This is probably the most detailed building I've ever seen. It's got all this stone carving around the entrance, which is amazing. Got the wood carving, stone carving, and the brick carving here above the wall. But the local tradition of stone carving isn't merely a way to show off. Grand structures like the Tongye archways were constructed with the emperor's permission to commemorate local heroes, be that faithful widows, fallen soldiers, or dutiful sons. As is the case in many parts of China, the theme of family is strong here. Each village formed a clan sharing the same surname. At the center of the village is an ancestral hall where they honor former clan members. What makes this one particularly unique is it's the only one in the whole of China that honors former female clan members, and that's something I can get on board with.
As the area doesn't have much suitable land for growing anything other than tea, Anhui men have traditionally had to hit the road and work as merchants. They took with them all kinds of locally made cultural gems, which allowed this area to form a fierce reputation for its fine art. Zhang Laoshe was kind enough to introduce me to a local artist and his friends. But before I could get stuck into some calligraphy, they insisted on giving me a lesson in tea ceremony etiquette, and I got to try Zhang Laoshe's prize tea, which was delicious.
It's so interesting to see how it comes together using the different brushes and the different strokes. I've been lucky enough for the Laoshe to teach me how to draw this beautiful bamboo. Every brush stroke was a little bit difficult for me, but I feel like I did a pretty good job. Thank you, Laoshe.
Back on the road, we came across a rather surprising village. This is Bishan, which at first glance looks like any other ancient Anhui village. But don't let its looks deceive you. If you take a walk along its narrow alleys, you will stumble upon some unexpected hidden gems.
The old ancestral hall has been converted into an amazing bookshop, which has been listed as one of the most beautiful in rural China, and I have to agree.
We were so lucky to be able to explore this area with Jetour, and the X70 Plus was the perfect travel companion. It is truly a great road trip car because it has lots of space, is really comfortable to drive, and is stacked with useful features. Hopefully we can go on another road trip soon.
To be honest, we never really thought about coming to Anhui apart from to go to Huangshan, and we didn't even end up going there. Instead, we spent our time in the valleys and villages learning all about Huizhou culture. This has certainly been one of the most interesting trips we've been on, and we've really enjoyed driving around exploring the area. Needless to say, we will be back. I'll see you next time.